What's up, guys? Welcome back. So, if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name's Oscar, and this is GMG3 Thoughts and Reviews. We'll talk about a whole bunch of different topics: political, shooting matches, travel destinations, etc. So please, if you don't mind, you see down here somewhere there's that little thumbs up, that like button. Please click on it. And if you consider subscribing to our channel, we sure would appreciate it. Help us with the algorithms and let us know that we're doing a good job. We continue to put out the same kind of content. So, without further ado, we are going to talk about let me just start from the beginning here. Guys, I am not a top 5 anybody shooter, okay? I do okay. I'm a mid-pack guy, I'm not gonna lie. Why? Because I choose not to put a whole bunch of other stuff before others, family stuff and stuff that's more important to me. I'm not knocking anybody or anything like that. I'm just saying, for me, I choose not to be at the range every week or spending $1,000 in matches every weekend for 2-day matches and etc., etc., etc. I like traveling with my wife. I enjoy vacationing, going to the lake or the river. Disney, we love going to Disney, guys, as you can tell. Yeah, so, there's just other things that are more important to me. But, that being said, we are now, as of this filming, we are February 16th, I believe it is today, of 2025. I have not shot my centerfire rifle, my 6GT, since the Twisted Barrel Scorcher match in July of last year, of 2024. Why? Well, I had probably one of the worst matches I've ever had in my life. And I was so discouraged, so disappointed. I just have not picked up a rifle since. At least not centerfire, right? I haven't competed centerfire, nothing like that. I am considering, if I do go maybe support one of my local ranges at a match, I'm going to shoot my gas gun. At least I know I'm not going to do very well with that one. But, okay, so, let's talk about 2-day national matches, for those of you that don't know. A 2-day national match is exactly what it is. It's Saturday and a Sunday, 2 full days of matches, usually about 100 rounds on the first day, 100 rounds on Sunday. And with Friday leading up to it is what we call a range day, where you get to go out to the range, you get to zero, shoot your rifle, a couple of targets, just make sure everything is working the way it needs to be. So, okay, from where I live, it's about a 10 to 11 hour drive to Little Rock, Arkansas from South Texas. And, so now you're talking gas, you're talking hotel rooms, food, match fees, ammo fees, etc. You're looking upwards of $1,000, if not more. So you go through all this expense, and you drive up there like we did. We drove up on a Thursday. We got there Thursday night, got in a hotel room. Friday morning we were out at the range and just trying to true up everything. Everything was working. It seemed like okay, right? I shot my zero. Everything was great. No problem. And went out to a couple of stages, shot out around 500, 600, 700 yards. Everything was working fine. And come Saturday morning, we went to the shooter's brief. We went to our first stage, and then I noticed everything was just not where it needed to be. And I struggled all day. Now again, I'm nobody's top 5, right? But I know I'm not that bad of a shot. And I thought, man, what is going on? I'm shooting suppressed. I took off the suppressor, I shot it that way, nothing. I still couldn't. I think I would have gotten a better group if I would have shot my shotgun. That's how wide I was. And Anyway, halfway through the match on Saturday, I decided to go back out and re-zero. My zero was good, but my SDs and my ESs were just incredibly high. And for those of you that don't know, SD is what we call a standard deviation. And that's going to be your how much when you shoot it 100 yards, wherever you impact, and if they're all like within the same hole, your SDs are going to be very, very small, like under 10. But if you shoot outside of one hole, then your SDs, of course, are going to get bigger. Same thing with ES. ES standing for extreme spread. That's like from your farthest shot to your farthest shot. So typically we want those numbers 10 or less. That's an ideal. I was not getting that. I was up in the 60s and the 70s and 50s for SD. I mean, I was just way up there. Okay, I mean, it was so bad that after Saturday, I was just ready to call it quits. I told my wife, I said, I'm not even gonna shoot Sunday. Let's just go out Saturday night, have a good time. Sunday, we'll just go and see some sights and maybe go to the Clinton Library, just do things in Little Rock, right? And she says, no, you need to finish it out no matter how bad you're doing. So I went, and of course, I should have listened to myself because Sunday was just even worse than Saturday. Guys, I could not hit the side of a barn. I think I was averaging probably maybe 2 impacts per stage. For those of you that don't know, on average we get about 10 shots per stage. Throughout the whole match, we must have had somewhere around 16 or 17 stages. So you can kind of figure, 10 rounds per stage. Normally a good day for me is somewhere around 6 to 8 impacts per stage. I'm usually shooting between 60 and 80%. I was probably at 20% for the match. I didn't even look at the scores because I didn't even want to bother. So I just threw after the match, man, I threw everything in the truck, came home, put everything in the safe, have not messed with it since. Well, almost. So, some good friends of mine, kept kind of giving me a hard time about it. Man, you got to get it back out there, get back on the horse. And so, I thought, what, let me go to the range and let me go see what I can figure out. Now, again, let me stop there and kind of back you up a little bit. I do not hand load anything. My job has me away from home. I'll go to work 1 week, 7 or 8 days, and then I'm off for 8 days. Work 8 days, off 8 days. And usually I'm anywhere between 5 to 15 hours away from home. I can work anywhere in the Midwest. So when I get home, I've been away from my wife and kids so much that I don't want to take the time and the money to get everything and to hand load and spend time at the range. I just don't want to do all that. So what do? Factory ammo, guys. There it is right there. 6mm GT. I don't know if it's focusing in or not, but I think it is. 6mm GT. I shoot factory ammo. Ooh, I know, I can already hear y'all. So, but you know what, man? I've never had any kind of issues with the Hornady ammo. Okay, so that's what I shoot. Went out to the range one day, I think it was in December, and went with a good friend of mine, and Eric Wynn. Eric, thank you. And we sat down, we shot a lot of this ammo. I shot it, he shot it. We retorqued everything on my rifle. We checked to make sure the barrel was still good. We cleaned it out, got rid of any carbon ring it may have had. My barrel is a 28-inch, I believe it's a Krager barrel. And if not Krager, it's a Bartline, I can't remember. But I had roughly, before the match at Little Rock, I had roughly 632 rounds, give or take. So it's still a barrel that's newly broken in. It's in good condition, let's just put it that way. There was no signs of any kind of anything. I mean, everything was normal. So we couldn't figure it out. You know, I even tried changing brakes. I thought, well, maybe it's because I'm shooting suppressed. Maybe my suppressor's dirty, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Maybe the brake, we took it off, put on a new brake, and I'm still getting just, you know, it was just ridiculous. I couldn't get it to shoot right. At that time, I'm ready to give up. And Eric says, you know what, man, I've got, because he shoots 6GT as well, or he did. And he says, you know, I've got about 7 or 8 of my hand loads. Let's just try them out for grins and giggles. Why not, right? I'm at my last wit's end. I mean, I shot 3 shots and they were all inside the same hole. I mean, ridiculously good. I shot the rest of them all within that same hole. It was incredible, man. My confidence just took off. I mean, I'm ready to shoot a match again. You know, so we got to looking at the factory ammo. And that's about the only thing, guys, that we came up with, was that the factory, maybe the lot that I got was just not good. Now, I have bought at least 7 to 8 cases from the usual place that I get them from, and I've never had that kind of issue. Now, I've never been first place with it, but I've always, you know, trusted it to go wherever I point it at and pull the trigger to. Not this time, not with this lot. This was, yeah. And I probably got about maybe 8 of these boxes, and they're still full. As you can see, guys, I put them up, and I didn't mess with them. I mean, that's how frustrated I was. So, long story short, it was the ammo. I don't know what happened with Hornady. I can't prove it, guys. I'm no scientist or anything like that. I may have some people come at me in the comments. That's okay, man. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. But ever since my military training, I know that I can believe what the bullet is telling me. You want to learn more about Believe the Bullet? Come on down to Rifles Only and get with my good friend Jacob Bynum, get some training in. So if the bullet's telling me that it's doing this, and the bullet's telling me that I'm going to give you a very high ES and a very high SD, I can expect those kinds of numbers downrange. Now at 100 yards, I'm probably getting a good, nice little tight group, right? Nothing crazy, but I'm getting at least maybe a 0.6, 0.7 group. But with those kinds of ESs and SDs, let's say out 500, 600, 700 to 1,000 yard range, I'm going to be very, very wide. I'm not going to know where it was. And that's exactly what I remember. I had it even written down in my notes. I think I had maybe a 700 yard range or 750. And I'm shooting at it, and I would just hit off to the left. And then the next one, I would correct for that, and then the next one off to the right. And I could never get it to go, you know, even when I missed, I couldn't miss in the same place. It would miss randomly. So I knew that, you know, there was something going on. But of course, when you're at a high level match with some of the best shooters in the world, I think, good friends of mine, it's kind of hard to diagnose while you're on the clock and you're at a match. So again, we went to the range, and this is the best we could come up with. I did find some rounds, some 6GT rounds that I had ordered a while back from Eagle Eye Ammunition. And I did have about 5 rounds that I had ordered a while back from our good friends out at Clay's Cartridge. And I went and shot those, and again, Eagle Eye was just boom, 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 all in the same hole. And then I shot, I think I had about 3 or 4 rounds of the Clay's Cartridge, 105 grains, and I mean just hammering inside of a little hole. So yeah, this is what I came up with, guys. So there it is, man. I was so frustrated that I was ready to just get rid of everything. I did not want to know anything about centerfire. I was that frustrated. I'm sure some of you guys have been there. I'm sure you can relate, but it was that bad. Now, I have convinced my good buddy Eric to load me up, you know, a good 3 to 4, maybe even 500 rounds if I can convince him to. And you know, we'll be back in the game here probably this summer. We've recently been shooting a lot of rimfire, where I know that the Ely match ammo is going to do very, very well. So we've been shooting a lot of rimfire and centerfire. We just have not done it. I need to get back on that horse, but I just have not been able to convince myself to do it. So there it is, guys. I just wanted to kind of put it out there. I'm not trying to put Hornady down or anything like that, but that is what it is. I had to have gotten a bad batch. If you've had similar results, please let me know. Or even if you've had good results with it, which I have. I had very, very high confidence in this stuff up until this box, or not the box, but the case. Again, I have probably 8 boxes of these left over, and I don't know what I want to do with them, but we'll see. You know, maybe I'll just shoot them just to get the brass or something. Maybe I'll start hand loading. I don't know. So there it is, guys. I just kind of want to put this story out there. I do plan to return to Little Rock and at the Scorcher match. I'm not sure. They're having 2 this year. One in July, one in September, I believe. So I may go back in September this time, where it's a little bit, hopefully cooler. I doubt it, but September, right, as opposed to July. Man, it was hot out there last July. I mean, I swear to God, I looked down my scope at a far target, and I swear to God, I saw a cheetah chasing a gazelle out there, man. It was that hot. But we plan on returning. Little Rock is a fantastic place. My good friends at Twisted Barrel Range, Billy and his family are just exceptional people. We had a great time. And Little Rock, what can I say, man? Little Rock, even if you have a bad match, downtown Little Rock, guys, there's a ton of things to do. My wife and I always have a good time when we go down there. And if you do go to the piano bar. You will thank yourself for it. So anyway, you guys, I'm done. Just, kind of venting here, telling the story. Because I know I have a lot of friends that are like, hey, where you at, man? We ain't seen you in no matches. Well, that was why, guys. I was just totally frustrated, and I didn't want to have anything to do with it. But I think we're going to be back. I'm going to get those rounds from Eric, and then we'll be seeing y'all later in the summer, or later in the year, I should say, around mid-year, and when it warms up a little bit. So, guys, you have anything, put it in the comments, please, and we'll see you in the next one. Orale!